Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with Beth Traverso, our newest expert on the Expert Series. How you doing, Beth?
Thank you. Doing great. Happy to be here.
Yes, so I don't mean to age us, but you and I combined have greater than 40 years experience in the real
Oh
estate
boy.
markets. Yeah,
Yes.
you folks, you could do the math on where the line is split.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about you and I've seen lots of changing markets, the highest of highs, the lowest of lows. We've seen the pivots, the peaks, the troughs, and pretty much nothing phases us. Even the crazy whiplash that you and I talked about in the first episode, we saw the champagne cork pop. We knew what was coming next. It's just kind of old hat to you and I.
Yeah.
But how do you talk to investors or agents or homeowners, home buyers? Because they may feel like they're being pulled all over the place and they just know what's going on. So, how do you kind of level set? Let's do agents first, right? How do you level set? You got an agent that's been on your team for 3 years. They've only known the highest of highs. How do you help them understand that the world is different and, maybe what worked last year won't work this year?
Yeah. So basically, what we need to do when things are shifting is, first of all, just kind of like remain like the calm center, So like people come to us to be the trusted advisor. This is for agents, and it's like we need to know our market, So even when crisis, let's say talks about the worst market ever, like 2009, 10, pick your year, houses were selling during that time. It's not ever like it stopped, and life does go on. And so it's just a matter of finding out what's working and what isn't working. So strategies need to change. And so from agent to agent, I would say like talk to other agents, talk to me, but let's see like what strategies are working right now. So basically the longer you're an agent, the more you have different tools in your toolbox, and you can pull one out and put it away, like we were talking about the crazy market on our last video. It's like that was one set of skills and tools. Now we're going to put that away, pack it away, we can pull that out later if things shift again and we need it again. But then now we're going to a different one. Like, okay, now we need to like shift our strategy a little bit where we're doing, I won't get into all the nitty gritty of what we do, but basically like you're going to deploy different, the way that we present and communicate to other agents is going to be a little different. And also just know that the sky is not falling, it's like things change and there's good and bad and all of that. So for everybody, like for sellers who maybe aren't getting the high price that they were getting previously, if they're looking to buy, then it's like, okay, you may not be, getting this higher price now that maybe your neighbor may have received, but if you're going to be on the buying side now, you might be able to have things like a home sale contingency, things that were unheard of before, like a totally absurd notion,
Mm-hmm.
home sale contingency. You might be able to purchase below list price. You might be able to all these things that you couldn't do. So there's a pros and cons to every market. So what you might consider a bad market or even the good market, like there's things that are challenges and advantages in both. So I say just giving that kind of more rounded perspective of it.
Yeah, I think, when I look at, so I like when markets shift. Historically speaking, both up and down markets, that's where Olivia and I have made most of our wealth is at pivots because we're never we're never kind of so committed that it has to keep going up, right? We pivot, we go somewhere else. And a lot of people will bust out, right? A lot of people think suddenly they're the next Warren Buffett or Sam Zell or pick your great investor. And they don't realize is that sometimes the market makes you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not paying attention, the market can, take you out as well. And bad markets, like it or not, there will be less real estate agents 2 years from now. Some won't make it. They won't make commission. It's too hard, whatever. Investors, same deal. A lot of you came into this the last 2 years. You could have been an idiot in flipped houses the last couple of
Oh
years.
yeah.
A lot of you are going to bust out. So I like changing markets because again, um, kind of evolution taught us it wasn't the strongest or fastest; it was the most adaptable. So
Absolutely.
that's what I want people to realize. And then finally, like you said, right? You said kind of it worked, pack it away. We can use it later. I always talk about a tool belt, for lack of a better thing. I have a couple of tools that are really, really well worn. But even after 20 years of investing, I'm investing to learn more things because there's just more. This is such an exciting business we're a part of. And there are so many opportunities out there if you have the right tool. And frankly, Beth, I need to add more tools to my tool belt. There's just more things to do. So I'm
I do
excited about what's
too.
coming.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. Like I've done a few, like for example, seller finance transactions. I've done a few of those, and they were great. But I realized like, oh, there's a lot of untapped. There's a lot of that's a whole separate skill set that
Yeah.
I have so much I can learn about that. So I'm working on
Yeah.
strengthening that muscle a little bit,
Yeah.
so that when those opportunities come along, you'll know how to spot them and what to do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I think, you know, the last thing I want to say kind of on changing markets is um, don't be scared of them. They happen all the time, right? If you're sitting scared because of a bear market or a recession, you've got to change your mindset. They are amazing opportunities to build legacy wealth. There will be more people, more millionaires made in the next 2 years than probably were made in the last 2 years. The last 2 years were frankly about income, right?
yeah.
Flipping is an active income.
Mm-hmm.
Being an agent is
Oh,
active
yeah.
income. But if
Mm-hmm.
you want to build wealth, it's about controlling assets long term. And I think creative financing over the next couple of years, whether it's seller financing or other vehicles, are going to just have amazing. You're going to be able to put more money, less money down, less cash, and control more assets. That's why,
Yes.
just this weekend, I'm spending thousands of dollars to learn more skills. So I'm excited by what's coming.
Yeah. And so I have to say, one of my biggest frustrations is when I see these market shifts, and they happen actually, like this is a bigger one, there's been some really huge ones, but some of them are just like little blips that happen for a little while. And like, okay, guys, this is your time.
Mm-hmm.
And the most frustrating thing for me when I'm working with somebody who's looking to buy is there's this kind of like collective psychology of like, oh, it's not a good time to buy right now because prices might be going down, or I think
Yeah.
prices are high and people aren't buying right now, so why should I buy, kind of a thing. And I just want to just like kind of grab them by the scruff and be like, this is what you've been waiting for. Remember when you couldn't make offers before and you're getting clobbered by all these people doing crazy things? Like now is your time to shine,
Yeah.
and resist that temptation to just sit back and wait, because we're talking about how fast it shifts. Like it's going to shift back up again at some point, and when it does, it's going to take off like a rocket again. That's how it happens around here.
Yeah. What I would tell FHA, because again, right, you want to talk about the odd, like if I was an agent, and frankly, if I was a buyer with any of these FHA, VA, or 203K loans, you couldn't sniff a deal the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Go get them now. Write them now. If I was an agent and didn't have a pipeline of buyers, I would market to FHA, VA, 203K buyers. Again, I would be telling them, we're not paying list price. We're getting the seller to pay closing costs. We're getting the seller to give us a rate buy down. I've shown math on all of that where you can take a 2% yield, turn it into 6. Right? These are just all things that you could do to get yourself a better deal. And please get fixed rate debt. Don't be one of these
Oh
people
my
getting
gosh. I'm
arms.
seeing so many people doing these arms again, and it pains me a little bit.
It might
So,
work out. It might
yeah,
not.
don't run your number. If you're running lean, don't run your numbers on that. But and here's another thing too. I've been seeing a lot of opportunities now for yesterday I was looking, I saw all these great like potential house hacks. Like they were lower end.
Yeah.
In our area, we don't have much multifamily, but there's like split level houses. We're like, oh, those are great for house
Yeah,
hacks.
like you did,
That
right?
roof thing down
1995. Yeah.
there. Yeah. And you can live up top. You can get in there with your FHA or VA if that's an option. It's like there's like all of them sitting out there waiting for an offer, and I'm like, it makes me want to like just shout it from the rooftops, like, come on guys, this is it.
Yeah. So let me just say this right here, right now. If you are working or living in the Seattle area and you want to do an FHA loan and you're up for doing house hacking, genius. You need to reach out to Beth today. She's got line of sights to a couple of deals. Let her show you what those are. Beth, how do you want these people to reach out?
Yeah, so they can go to my website, bethtraversogroup.com, or I'm on Facebook, pretty active on there too if somebody wants to reach out there.
Awesome. Reach out again. She's OG, 1995 house hack. She cleaned up a basement, put a tenant in there, never saw him. It is the way to go. It is
It
the
works.
cheat code to wealth, income snowball. Get
Mm-hmm.
after it.
Changed everything. Yes.
Best thing you ever did, right? Best
Mm-hmm.
financial decision.
100% is yes.
There you go. Thanks, Beth.
Thank you.